Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Risen Esports Rampage Open Week 5 matchup between Pendulum Gaming and Apes Together Strong. I am your play-by-play, it's Lemons. Got my buddy today, Gopherino, as my color. How are you feeling about these games we got going for us today?
Pretty good. Definitely looks exciting. Both these teams doing decent so far in the standings. Pendulum Gaming currently 2-2, while Apes Together Strong 3-1. So might have a little bit of tie after tonight, or we might have a 4-1 team. We'll have to see.
Yeah, I am excited to get into this series itself. We are going through the picks and bans already, though, as Cassiopeia and Shen were banned away on the blue side, and Morgana Senna banned away on the red side. A lot of comfort bans being put through against these teams. The Olaf coming out as well on the blue side as that last ban for the first phase. Gonna have to wait to see what they want to take out. It's looking like the set coming off the board here for Apes Together Strong.
Yeah, very quick through there, and we're going to see the immediate Nautilus lock in here for Knightsbridge.
And with the Nautilus lock-in, I mean, Nautilus is just so strong right now. Together with a lot of the ADCs, just provides that extra kill pressure on the bot side that can really dominate the bot side of the map, especially around those dragon pits where those objectives are so important right now. But ATS say, we're going to lock in. We know what we want. They pick up the Alawi and the Fizz.
Yeah, the Fizz is no surprise here since that's Sean's Beard. Sean's Beard's top played champion in the mid lane. And it's just comfort picks all around here so far because the Alawi is, of course, the backup here for Depression if that Shen is banned. And then the Nunu is, of course, for Noni's favorite jungler right now.
Yeah, excited to see the Nunu come out. And like you were saying, just talking about the comforts coming out for both these, I'm excited to see these players play these specific champions because they're known for them, and we want to see them be able to pop off on these comfort champions because that's the one thing you got in League of Legends. You got your comfort champions to take you all the way to the top, as Leona is going to come in for ATS there as that last pickup, and Tristana snuck in there on the blue side, so that Nautilus Tristana bot lane is going to be one heck of a power lane to deal with. Now, we did have the Aurelia taken out as the first ban for the second phase of bans. The Warwick's going to follow her into the ban pit and just waiting on that last one to come through right now.
Yeah, PLG just targeting a lot of Binks's jungle pool here, taking away his two most played junglers in that Warwick and Olaf. So we'll see what they round off the ban list with. But the Azir ban being potentially locked in because it was Azir and now it's a red
Azir, now it's nothing.
Players haven't said anything, so I'm just going to assume that's Azir. But the Jinx ban potentially coming out here for PLG would be a pretty strong ban.
It was an Azir ban for some reason. It didn't go through. Just having some technical difficulties there. But yes, that Misfortune was banned away, so taking away a little bit more of that OP pool here, especially with Misfortune still being so strong in that ADC-centered area. Now, Ashe is going to be the lock-in, and honestly, though, I really like the Leona-Ashe combo.
Yeah, just a ton of CC and a ton of engage that your bot lane alone brings. And you look at the solo laners right now for her ATS, I mean, Fizz Alawi, they don't exactly have the best engage. Fizz does have the Shark, but that's usually more of a secondary engage once you get off a flank. But the Katarina locked in is very interesting because I know Katarina does have some problems into the Fizz due to the Playful Trickster.
Yeah, and honestly, you look at the Leona, and that immediately scares me away from picking Katarina. I mean, you have that much CC, especially the point-and-click CC that's available. Your ultimate's just not going to be used. And then the Ashe as well is going to be really hard for the Katarina. Obviously, you still have that burst potential, but she has the ultimate that she can use on you as soon as you pop yours. So definitely going to have to keep our eyes on the Katarina. Renekton was the lock-in for the top lane for PLG, so they are rounding out their composition with a very strong bruiser top laner. And then Zach is going to be the pickup for ATS, so not going with that third pick in our list of top picks for him. He didn't want that J4. He decides he wanted to go with the Zach for that engage. And to follow up all the damage on his team, I actually kind of like that decision.
Because, I mean, when you already have Fizz, Alawi, and Ashe, that's more than enough damage. Like, you don't need a fourth damage source in the jungle, so picking that Zac for your team is definitely very nice.
Yeah, it definitely is. And when you look at the compositions as a whole here, honestly, I, it's going to be a bloodbath. And my biggest question is going to be, how early do we get to see that running? And how early do these junglers really get into the effective parts of this game? Obviously Nunu is going to have the objective control, is going to be wanting to be around those dragons and when those pop up. So do we see the team roam down there and help them, or do we see a little bit more of a survivalist style jungle where they're skirmishing all over the place and maybe then taking the objective? I think is one of the biggest questions we're going to have to see about this game.
Because like you said, the Nunu is supreme in controlling objectives with that consume. So gonna have to watch out, but even if the Zac does find the wild Nunu taking a dragon, I mean, the Zac can't really do much. He can just kind of be a pest, but you aren't outsmiting that Nunu.
Yeah, for sure. It's more about smacking him as many times and seeing if you can dissuade him from continuing said objective. I do have to say, Zac does have a lot of utility, though, and especially getting his lanes ahead. I do feel like he has a little bit of an advantage early on, at least. And especially with these lanes that you have, the Fizz, the Alawi, things like that are going to be really nice for him as a combo because they're going to be able to follow up. They're going to be able to CC, at least in some way, shape, or form, and you're going to be able to get those ganks off pretty cleanly.
Yeah, a lot of CC here, but I mean, you could say that about the other side for PLG as well, because Nahus is literally the CC champion, and then Renekton, Tristana, and Nunu, they all have some CC in their kits too. Granted, nowhere near as strong as the CC that ATS is bringing out, but definitely something you will have to watch out for.
Yeah, especially looking at that Renekton, man. Renekton can dominate games, especially if he gets a little bit of gold ahead of his opponent. He really can just snowball into a humongous lead and kind of take that into the objectives as well as we were talking about. I think my biggest change in focus, I guess not a big change in focus, has kind of been how we've been leading League of Legends recently, but I really like the change in the communication being so important. Obviously it's been important for a long time, but being able to get those decisive roams at the right moment, as soon as you have priority, you see your junglers going into a fight, you kind of move towards that and you can play off of that. And obviously you see it all the time in competitive play and professional play, but I love to see that kind of break down through the ranks and see how the teams are coming together and putting all that work they put in week in and week out to put up a show on the day of the game. And this best of 3 series is definitely going to be a show.
Yeah, because it's very easy to tell the difference when you're spectating which team has the strong communication and which team is a little lacking, because the lacking team, you'll kind of see them just be a little off sync, and it's that kind of uncanny valley where they're technically all reading the same book, but there's like a page in between each one of them, whereas a team that's all synced up and together with a strong communication, they're all on the exact same page, all their movements are synced, they're just going around as a kill squad.
And kill squad indeed. But with these compositions, where are you looking at the big power points for them? Where do you think they're going to be trying to put all of their resources in for each team here, starting off with ATS?
Definitely mid is a very snowbally matchup. So, I mean, that applies to both sides here. Katarina is literally feast or famine, the champion. And then Fizz, of course, by being an assassin, is feast or famine. Granted, not as much as Katarina, but still, we all know what happens in the assassin versus assassin matchup when one starts snowballing. The other counter can't really do squat against it, so mid lane will probably be a decent focus here. But also the top lanes are going to be important too, because we all know how powerful Renekton is early on. You get him some ganks in, he can snowball the game. But same kind of applies to Alawi, and as the game goes on, the Alawi split push is probably going to be very hard for this Renekton to deal with.
Yeah, I'm personally really looking forward to the bot lane matchup. I'm going to see how these lanes are going to kind of work out and see who takes the aggressive stance to really have that priority in lane to be able to maybe help out the jungler, especially if Nunu's going to be looking for early dragons. But with that being said, we are going to have to see how it turns out for this best of 3 series. This is going to be game number 1, but we'll be right back after a short spectator delay. Do not go anywhere. Hello, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are here with the Risen Esports Rampage Open Week 5 matchup between Pendulum Gaming and Apes Together Strong. We are on to the Rift here, not seeing anything too crazy so far. Obviously not getting those level 1s, even with the amount of CC that we have, but into the game nonetheless.
Yeah, you kind of want to see it level 1, because we're talking about how hard these picks snowball in the mid and top lanes. But also, there's a ton of CC. You got Leona, you got Nautilus, you got Nunu, and you got a Zac. Granted, starting with the world's biggest snowball on Nunu, maybe a little detrimental to your clear speed.
He was thinking the level 1, but then they didn't go the level 1.
I disapprove of that line of thinking, but it's just me. But either way, that'll start off. Binks is actually going leashless on the Zac for the Raptor camp first, so that's a little interesting.
Yeah, so that's going to be a new-ish strategy where you just do the smaller camps, you get an early reset, and then you go do the buffs. The thinking behind it is if you're going to waste all your time doing the buff, but you're not going to get any PvP in while you have those buffs, they aren't worth getting. You can still get the level 3 early. It actually looks like he's going to go for the red, so that's a little bit weird. So I was going with the thinking that he was going to do the Raptors, Wolves, Krugs, or Gromps, either one, and it can get you the level 3. Where then you go get the early reset and you come back and you take your red and blue and then you gank, where you have already the item and everything available to you. So that's what I was thinking. Apparently he's got something completely different in mind as he starts off that.
A full top side clear potentially into a top gank. But a little bit of fighting. Level 2 finally hit for Pendulum Gaming's bot lane, just a little bit too late, so nothing too much coming out of it early.
Yeah, and we saw a heavy trade go down onto Sean's Beard in the mid lane as well. Howling Tornado able to get the early trade down onto the Fizz while she still can. Because as you were saying before, once you get that full set of abilities, it gets a little bit rough.
Yeah, not to mention though, Howling Tornado actually popped his 1 potion, so he only has the Door and Shield sustain right now, whereas Sean's Beard, he does still have an extra charge of refillable, as Howling Tornado just takes that electrocute proc and is going to eat so much more.
The Ignite coming out, and that's going to be close to First Blood. Are we going to see it? That is First Blood. Sean's Beard picking that one up with the fancy Ignite there. Howling Tornado overextending just a little bit. Did not want to take that Shun Po, but did, and it ended up in his death. So very early start to mid lane going in the favor of Fizz, and for the side of Apes Together Strong, that's exactly what you want.
Yeah, and that's just kind of going to show the Fizz counterpick matchup here. Just the early electrocute procs are really hurting onto Howling Tornado's Katarina right now. And the Conqueror, sure, the sustain is really good, but it does take time to build up. And especially in the early levels, it's not as potent compared to later in the mid game, where you have a little bit of items to go with that and a bit more damage from your abilities.
Yeah, Spence taking a nice trade here on Depression. But that trade's going to come right back at him with the Alawi damage coming through. But here is his jungler. Misses the greatest or biggest snowball ever, but is not going to get the root either, actually. And failed gank coming through from Fornoni.
It does force out the flash, though, from Depression, and Howling Tornado sitting by here, doesn't have the Ignite.
Yeah, here it goes. That's going to be a kill going over Howling Tornado there, able to get the roam, and that's exactly what we were talking about. The roams become so important. You see Howling Tornado gets the priority in mid lane, runs up top, even though the gank just didn't work out. They know the flash is gone, so they can get that kill. What a great pickup.
Yeah, and although this is a hard matchup for Katarina, Fizz doesn't exactly push waves the fastest, especially only at level 5. So he was actually able to go top for an early game pre-6 roam on Katarina, because usually one of Katarina's biggest weaknesses is she wants to roam, but it tends to be a little hard to roam because she has no priority in the wave, and she kind of really needs level 6 to have that solo kill threat in order to get some pressure in the lane.
Yeah, really well done by Howling Tornado there. Take advantage of the lane. And definitely seeing a big focus here in the mid and top for these junglers, as you did see Binks, was ready to go in at a moment's notice. Howling Tornado decides to go in though on a Sean's Beard, get a little bit of trade, but takes a lot more damage than he was able to put down onto the Fizz. as that one didn't go too well in the mid lane. But hey, we have Fornoni coming in, and that's going to be Sean's Beard trying to get out. The root isn't going to connect because of the Playful Trickster, and beautifully played by the Fizz.
Yep, it is going to get some help, though, in the mid lane for Howling Tornado, which is going to be kind of nice. Helps even out the health bars. And means Sean's Beard is a little low on mana now. Here comes World's Biggest Snowball, but I don't think too much is going to come of it.
Oh, they decide to go in anyways. They get the Dredge line on as well. Fornoni taking a lot of the damage from the tower. I don't know if Fornoni wanted to fully go in on that. He pulled off immediately, but Kite's Bridge just said, let's go in. I wanna try and get this kill at least. But here they are turning onto the Ocean Dragon, which will be the first dragon of the game, and I don't believe is going to be contested.
Yeah. Nothing too much they can do to contest right now with Binks all the way back, not even at Wolves right now, and easy Ocean pickup for the side of Pendulum Gaming. Next dragon will be that Earth Dragon, which will be a nice pickup for either side that grabs it, although not too much raw resistance is being built in this game outside of the junglers and supports.
Yeah, especially when you're looking at the item paths for these champions, you have to think of the gold influx from a few of these mishaps that have gone on. You obviously have the Fizz, who's getting very, very close to that first item, and that's going to be a big power spike for him. You also have the Katarina, who's getting decently close to getting a little bit for herself. So I'm really excited to see these first or second item spikes coming through for these teams, because I think that's when we're going to see a lot of the explosiveness come out.
Because Katarina is a champion who not only depends on levels to get that level 6 and the Death Lotus, but also just getting the Gunblade first item is so crucial on her, because that is such a huge spike for her in terms of both damage, but also sustain, because all that sustain really helps her out with her laning phase, because before she gets that, she eats up a lot of harass, but after she gets it, she's able to sustain through a lot of it just thanks to the constant healing.
Yeah, exactly. Ooh. And you're going to see an all-in coming through from Sean's Beard here, able to get a ton of damage onto Howling Tornado with that big minion wave pushing into the tower as well. But here comes Fornoni trying to get the counter engage here, but just not able to, as they take some tower plates on the bot side, able to get a little bit of gold for themselves. But Fornoni trying. I like to see the trying over and over again, because you have to as Nunu. You have these long, very quick movement abilities that can really get you in good spaces for ganks, and I like to see the effort coming through for Fornoni so far.
Yeah, because I mean, Nunu, he's not exactly a power farming jungler. He's all about that objective control and ganks to a degree. Top lane though, speaking of ganks.
Yeah, it's finally going to get one off here. They are going to get some help from the Zac though, as the kill goes over, and that's going to be 3 kills going over to Apes together, strong across the board. 2 in the top lane and 1 in the mid lane, and a 1v1 for Sean's Beard. What a play coming out, and they are taking control of this game.
Yeah, absolutely massive across the map, and that's why it's so hard to gank Alawi post 6 when she has that leap of faith, because just all that damage, all that AoE, all that healing coming out, it can decimate people. And we saw by the time Fornoni got in there, Spence already had a dip out of there. He was too low on the Renekton, and even still ended up dying to a stray tentacle whip from one of the random tentacles.
Yeah, they do a ton of damage, even just one of them, and unfortunately Spence was caught by that, so it just ended up in a full-on mishap there across the board, really, for the side of Pendulum Gaming. But Spence back in the top lane, trying to act like nothing happened, and playing still the aggressive Renekton stance that you expect.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, Chum the Wire's barely missing, but Howling Tornado might still be in a little bit of trouble, maybe not death. Top lane, though. Mid. Yeah.
Sean's Beard is going to be in some trouble, actually, and here we go. We might see the kill back, but Playful Trickster comes out just in time. And Sean's Beard is just messing with the mind of Howling Tornado right now. Going in the second he saw him in lane. Didn't care what was going on elsewhere on the map. Just said, I know I can kill you 1v1. I want to go for it. Didn't end up getting the kill because he did miss the ultimate, but still able to outwit his opponent in that fight.
Yeah. But junglers? Okay. I thought one of the junglers might be looking mid since they were both posturing close to it, but they were both kind of also waddling off. Bot lane, though, we do have a world's biggest snowball coming in. The hook lands.
The curve, the turn. Is this Tokyo Drift? It is not. They didn't get it. It wasn't Tokyo Drift. But Fast and Furious 20 coming at you next season. Anyways, that gank did not work out, but Fornoni was able to show that presence in bot lane, making Binks realize that he's over that way, but there's nothing for him to clear on the enemy side. So he's got to feel pretty safe and knowing that he's getting some extra farm in the top side.
Yep. Yeah, like you said, gank mostly failed. Granted, it does get up the solar flare and flash from Toasted Crayons. So
Fornoni's in some trouble right now. Fornoni's in some serious trouble right now, and he's about to walk into even further trouble as he's just deciding to back in the bush because he knows exactly what's happening. He does
he's outie
too, so hey, it works.
Wait, he's staying?
Secret Agent Nunu. Now he's just completely surrounded. He was only surrounded by 2 members. Now he's got everybody around him. And obviously
he does at least have a rod out.
Yeah, they're looking to prioritize this vision at least.
Yeah, eyeing up that second dragon because they're able to get the first one pretty easy, and having a second one under your belt this early into the game always feels nice.
Yeah, it is going to be a mountain dragon, so it gives that extra armor resist, which can be useful, but that means that we have 2 of the potential strong dragons here, at least for the soul, is the Cloud Dragon Soul or the Infernal Soul coming out. So we'll have to see if they want to continue prioritizing that as they start up the dragon here. TP comes through though. That's going to be an Alawi joining, and there's no TP available for Renekton, so that's going to be a 4v5, and they're going in on Fornoni. He's going to go down to the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. Now Toasted Crayons picks up that kill though, and now they're following up onto Kite's Bridge. They're trying to get it. Zac is on the engage. They are able to, but the flash comes out, and the savior is there as Howling Tornado does have to run away, and they are going to turn onto that dragon.
Absolutely great pincer movement coming out from ATS, just knowing that they'd have the man advantage with that teleport advantage of theirs and just easily able to separate all the members. Sure, it was only 1 kill, but they also,
they try to go for the
very
steal,
cocky.
It did not work out, and that is just going to be 2 dead members here. They really, really wanted it, but it is just not enough to really want it in League of Legends. You have to have the mechanical execution as well, although they do actually not get the tower on top lane because he's not going to be able to kill that in time, and Alawi is going to arrive. So they tried to get something going for themselves, just were unable to by just a small margin, but they are still 100% in this game by only being 2k gold down, which is not a very big deficit.
Yeah, and I think that Dragon Star was actually accidental from Pendulum Gaming.
Yeah.
Because I think they're just trying to get that control ward and then happen to pop the dragon. Either way, though, a very disastrous turn of events because it's 1-7 in the kills right now, and they weren't even able to get that first tower top lane. So, can't really say that they equalized it. Spence, he's going in, gets out the leap of faith.
That's going to be a bit rough. You're in a terrible spot here, Spence, but does get the flash out. Depression is trying to get a little bit more gold for himself, but just unable to pick up that kill. Has to run away as Nunu has been spotted. And you do have both junglers up here towards this top side. Binks is looking to just continue farming as Fornoni is going to take that Rift or the Rift Scuttler and actually transition it into the Rift Herald, not knowing that they do have a little bit of know-how on this. They see that he was up there, and actually nobody moving to contest it so far.
Which is very interesting because Spence actually backed here. Oh, here comes the contest.
But nobody else is there.
The solo laners, so
yeah, that's a bit rough. That's that communication. But they decide they don't want it. They decide there's too much hustle and bustle over it, and they decide better of it. Actually, it was a little bit too late to pull back. They kind of went back and forth there, but Howling Tornado is going to be the one to go down. Oh, and it's stolen by Binks, who picks it up with the smite. And now he's going to be able to pick up Fornoni as well. Everything just going to tatters here for Pendulum. And now it's going to be Binks trying to pick up the eye here in a 1v3. But he gets out. And that split moment of indecision cost them that entire fight as Fornoni and Howling Tornado couldn't decide if they wanted to disengage or not.
Yeah, because all they had to do was just get the hell out of there. You got out the Zac Flash for free, just walk off and try again later. Spence, he's gonna try defending this tower, but he has to be careful. The Test of Spirit does land. There is no Chum the Waters, though.
Yeah, you got that one good thing going for you, but still taking a ton of damage from the Alawi tentacles as well. And really, as much as I wanted to see the action coming through from the bot lane, a lot of craziness there, we haven't seen any of it. And honestly, it's been the top and mid lane, as you had pointed out. And I like to see the strength coming out of these teams, but Spence is going to have to be careful here in the top lane, as Depression is going to get engaged on, but he's looking to turn it, looking to take the 2v1. Howling Tornado is going to go down, almost doesn't get the triple slam from Depression, and he makes sure his existence is stamped out.
Oh man, yeah, just all the tentacles dropping down, and those tentacles from earlier that latched onto Spence just securing the kill there, and it was really close, but in the end, that's a very fed Alawi now, 2-1 and 2 with a decent amount of CS. For Noni, a little caught out.
Check.
Back? Okay.
Yes,
but...
sorry. Technical difficulties there, folks. My mic just, or Discord just decided to stop working for some reason.
Okay,
So
I was scared it was me.
Well, I thought it was you too, and I was like, wait, I can't speak right now. What's happening? So,
yeah, I wish they
we
had
are back.
different. Yeah, I wish they had different sounds for if you disconnect versus someone else. But either way, we are back. Reptile dropped in the mid lane. This is going to be first tower, it looks like.
Yeah, they're looking to take even more as well, as Howling Tornado is going to get engaged on the beautiful knockback from Binks, and they are going to pick up that kill. Binks does get his passive pop, though.
We'll have to see if it's enough. The tower is wailing away on him, and there is also it's a 500 gold shot.
Sean's Beard's got to be careful to flash forward from Warning Shot. They are going to pick up that one, as now the trade backs are coming through, but they are still very far behind and have to be careful about overextending, as looks like the next objective for them is going to be the dragon, as we see the pings coming down.
Yeah, and it is going to be very important since both teams are currently even in the dragon soul count, and both teams, like we mentioned, Champs League, kind of did a lot of damage, and having an Infernal to just bolster that a bit more will help a great deal. But either way, we already have Pendulum Gaming right by the dragon. They have it set up, and I believe they're doing it. Yep,
Yeah,
they are, but it is spotted out. Look out for the teleports, though. Hook lands.
Yeah, the Solar Flare is going to come down, just barely misses, but it's enough to stun up Warning Shot. Warning Shot misses the rocket jump over the wall, and that's going to seal his death as Binks finally comes in to join the fight. Everybody's running towards B&J, trying to take him down, but they don't have the damage. The Consume comes down and is able to pick up that kill, but the tentacles are smacking down on the competition as Fornoni is having to run for himself, and he's going to be caught out, but now the fight's continuing on the other side. The Chum the Waters comes out on the Howling Tornado, and that's going to be a dead Katarina as they move towards the mid lane, trying to chase down these kills. Kite's Bridge is going to get knocked back, stunned up, and taken down. Slowly but surely, Sean's Beard is on a killing spree.
And that's 4 kills for an Infernal Dragon and an enemy ADC, and that definitely wasn't worth it, Lemons. Not gonna lie. Oh, Fornoni, almost was resting in pepperonis there, but thankfully, last second recall. But still, cost them the mid tower as well, and now there's an 8k gold differential between these two teams, and Infernal or not, you're gonna feel that difference.
Oh, you definitely are, and if they can continue to use this lead to their advantage and keep pressing these objectives, it's only going to get worse, because they do have a lot of synergy, especially in the composition that they've put together for themselves and the leads that they put together for themselves. And now everybody's going to get a nice little reset, having used a lot of that extra timing that they had from winning that team fight, and going to see a bit of a reset. Luckily, Depression was able to get to the top lane before that tower was taken, so still able to keep that up. Now, when you're looking at this from the side of Pendulum, you've got to be careful on these side lanes especially, and not overextending yourself, because you know that those ganks can come through from Binks at any moment.
Yeah, not to mention, you kind of don't want to be alone in a side lane when there's a 9-1 Fizz.
Like right now, this
Sean Beard. He has 3 full items, one of which is that Mage Eyes. Oh, the slingshot does.
I called it. I called it. I said this is gonna go bad, and it did. Zac and Fizz are a terrible combo to overextend yourself against, and Warning Shot finds out the hard way, unfortunately.
Yeah, definitely. At least one silver lining is ATS won't be able to get a too terrible amount of map security or map pressure off of that, so it's something, I guess. But Warning Shot, he's even built the Negatron Cloak, but here comes the Snowball.
Yeah, it's going to be an engage coming through from Fornoni. The Death Lotus was already used, trying to get the kill. Now the Tentacles are raining hell onto their opponents now, and Fornoni's going to be taken down. Every time they try to take down Depression, he pulls out these insane mechanical plays, and really just carrying his team from the top lane. Is now Howling Tornado is going to get caught, and that's going to be an engage coming through, and Zac seals your fate. Katarina goes down. That's going to be an Enchanted Crystal Arrow coming off the snipes, coming through from B&J, and now it's going to be Spence who has to flash forward, trying to get away from his enemy, and is able to with the dash through the Zac. But what a great follow-up coming through from ATS.
And that's just flat out 3 kills across the map. A bot inner turret, and looks like top inner turret might not be too long. There are 2 members standing in the way here for the side of Pendulum Gaming, but I don't think they're going to be able to do much here.
Yeah, they're just going to slowly take down these towers. You did have Fizz on the backside of the bot tower trying to take that one down, but wasn't able to because Fornoni was there. But they are able to take down that second tier in the top side. And now another reset coming through.
Yeah, another reset coming through, and more money this time around for the side of Apes Strong Together. Or Apes Together Strong. A little mixed up there. Either way, though, Baron is up right now, and with this massive lead they've secured over on the side of ATS, so they're probably eyeing up that worm like it's a tasty snack.
Yeah, it's about a 10k gold lead here. The Chum Waters is going to go through on the Kite's Bridge. That's going to be a ton of damage onto the tank. They don't have the damage to follow up. That's going to be a blown-up Nautilus. Solar Flare is available again. Going to go down to Fornoni. But on the backside, you do have Howling Tornado going off with the Death Lotus. But is it going to be enough? That's going to be a double kill for the Fizz here. And the chase down Howling Tornado is going to be the next to fall, as you can't run away from this synergistic composition, as they are taking down the competition and going next for this objective of this dragon.
And there's no one in their way to stop them right now, unless if Spence and Warning Shot are really tempting it. But I don't think they're that risky when it comes to it. Either way, though, this will be the second dragon of the game picked up here for the side of Apes Together Strong. And it's just going to help them further their lead even more. Now 11k in the lead, and gonna jump up a little more with this Infernal.
Yeah, definitely jumps up just a little bit, but that being said, even closer to the Dragon's Soul, which is the main objective nowadays in League of Legends besides the Baron. Top lane tower does go down finally to Spence, who is staying for some reason and is going to be caught by Depression. See if he's going to be able to get out as he does. Now the Chum the Waters goes straight onto Warning Shots and he goes down. Enchanted Crystal Arrow does miss though, so that's another big cooldown going down, but they are able to take down the ADC of the enemy side and continue pushing this advantage.
Yeah, that was like 2 abilities also from Sean's Beard. Not even having to use the Ignite. There's the Slingshot, there's the Flare.
Yeah, trying to go through. That's going to be the kill from Sean's Beard onto the Katarina. Now the follow-up is here. Don't they have the damage, though? Fornoni is looking to take down everyone, but doesn't. The TP finally comes through. Depression, all speedy, coming from the base. They are going to continue to push this, and honestly, this could just be the game.
Yeah, it might be. Granted, the death timers are still kind of low, so I think what it's going to be is the inhib and just back off here. But it looks like Apes Together Strong are trying to potentially tempt this, but they don't have a lot of minions left, and they have to be careful. The hook lands.
They need to make a decisive play here and decide to go in, but Binks does get out there. They decide the better of it, as they didn't have the Nunu yet. They didn't expect to be able to take that fight, so they just wanted to kind of defend there. But as you said, they do take the inhib, they do pull back. The Baron is on the Rift here, so expect a big emphasis around that as they come back from the reset, as they actually might be overextending just a little bit. As it looks like Binks is still doing the Gromp there, but he is Zac, so he can get out at any moment.
Oh, see,
Give him
doesn't
the
take a
nice
lot
little
of damage from that support Nautilus, but the slingshot is back up, so he's able to hop over the wall, like you mentioned. And Sean's beard on the Fizz. One thing to point out: 4 items, but 25 stacks on that mage dice. So it's just gonna be a dirty one-shot compilation for this guy right now.
Yeah, pretty much, and he knows it too. That's the way he's playing. He's going in for the assassinations and trying to get out. And so far, it's working out pretty well for him. They are going to get some vision clearing around this Baron, though, as the side of Pendulum Gaming able to get a little bit of vision control going for themselves, as they know that the next big fight is going to be coming around these objectives.
Yeah, but I don't think it's going to be too much of a fight here with the differential in the item right now, because, I mean, just look at the mid laners. One has 5.5 items and is basically full build. The other one has a completed item and boots. That is a very huge differential. Slingshot coming out.
That's exactly what we were talking about. That's the burn coming through from Sean's beard, going to pick up that kill. He didn't even have to use any real abilities. He used 2 right there, and Sean's beard's able to pick up the kill, as Howling Tornado just can't do anything about it. But now it's a 4v5. They decide to go onto the Baron.
And I don't think there's too much Pendulum Gaming can do right now. Because Fornoni is all the way down at red buff. They're kind of just forfeiting knowing this, that they can't contest, but I mean, if they give this up for free, then they're just kind of giving up the game for free, and it's a bit of a lose-lose situation, because either you don't contest it, so you don't lose the ensuing fight, but then the enemy team gets Baron for free and kind of almost wins the game for free. Or you try and contest the Baron, and most likely all die for it, and kind of still end up losing it, so
yeah, they are going to try to use this to their full advantage here, and as the side of Pendulum Gaming, you just kind of have to turtle in and hope for the best, hope for mistakes, hope for mess-ups coming through from ATS, as they are barreling towards your base down this mid lane. It looks like they just want to go for the throat.
The throat, indeed, because how are they going to stop this Baron buff push on the side of Pendulum Gaming? They have, like, no wave clear. Their best hope is a Tristana, whose 2 items are Stormrazor and Wit's End.
That one ability just did a quarter health from Fornoni, and he's the tank, or one of the tanks, as Binks is going to get the double knockup. That's going to be the solo effect following that up. The damage is actually not going through just yet. The Tristana's trying to get some of the bomb bust off, but not able to, as now it's going to be Binks and the rest of the team going through. The shutdown coming through, Howling Tornado, but finally gets taken down by Sean's beard, his arch nemesis throughout this entire thing, and they are just looking for kills, playing the bloody sport here. But now it is going to be Warning Shot, who is going to go in on the rocket jump, trying to get the kills. The Buster Shot's going to go through. Sean's beard able to pick up the kill, though, as he's going to be caught by the Fornoni, but gets out because Fornoni flashes away. And you know you can't run away, but he's trying to anyways and does make it. But that is sadly the entire time the base burning down the flames. That is going to be the game number 1 of this series. They're just giving themselves away here as they finally do end the game. And that is ATS taking game number 1 of this best of 3 series very convincingly.
Yeah, it was decently even for a while there with everybody exchanging blows, but over time the snowball just started up and eventually reached a point of no return, Lemons. And I mean,
19-1 Fizz.
Yeah, over half of his team's kills. He had double his opponent's gold, basically, which is a slightly staggering amount, to say the least.
Yeah, and you just look at the damage done. I mean, Fizz had 34,000 damage. The next highest on the enemy team was 11.5k on the Renekton. That is a huge difference. And honestly, the tale to take here for this game is after that snowball started, they took control of it, rode it to the end, and smashed it into the face of their opponents as game number 1 went to ATS. But with that being said, we're going to send it to a small break while we get ready for game number 2. Do not go anywhere, because you saw the action coming in game number 1. Just imagine what happens in game number 2. Be right here in just a few moments. Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Risen Esports channel. We have the Rampage Open Week 5 matchup between Pendulum Gaming and Apes Together Strong. Apes Together Strong taking a very convincing game number 1 after getting a heavy snowball. We'll have to see what they change in game number 2, as we already are through the picks and bans. We have Morgana, Senna, and Set taken off the board for the blue side, and Cassiopeia, Alawi, and waiting on that third ban coming out from the red side.
Yep, so far every ban is the same from the last game, except for that Alawi. And it's going to be the Shen this time around, so taking out the Olaf ban they had first round last time on the side of Pendulum Gaming. But, kind of recognizing the power of that Alawi, granted, I do feel like they kind of gave her a few extra kills with some slightly misguided ganks there.
Yeah, a little bit. And ATS decide, you guys really didn't do it justice last game. We're going to go ahead and first pick this Renekton and show you how it's done, as they do go ahead and first pick that pick right off the board. Now, Zyra is being hovered by Pendulum Gaming here. Going to see if they want to lock that one in. They are going to go ahead and lock that one in, so being able to provide a lot of CC and a lot of AP as well.
Yeah. And the Zyra first pick is actually very interesting to say the least, because Zyra
jungle.
It's true. They I don't know if they went through the buffs for it yet, but they were buffing her a bit.
Yeah, that all came through in 10.6.
Okay, yeah.
It's the same like Teemo and all that kind of stuff. Which, never try Teemo in the jungle. It's awful, people. Don't do it. You just don't want to. As we have gotten a couple more picks in this. Mordekaiser going to be the pickup in that first picking phase for Pendulum Gaming, and the Fizz going to be returning for ATS. ATS say, we had a pretty good composition last time. We're just going to change a couple pieces, but keep the main the same. As I'm surprised they didn't ban out that Fizz after that thing went 19-1.
Yeah, but maybe they're a little more confident, because keep in mind last game they picked the Katarina into the Fizz and into the Leona, which that is not it, Chief, because Fizz, strong counter to Katarina, and we kind of saw that displayed last game in the scoreline, as we mentioned, because it was a 19-1 Fizz, but also a 2-9 Katarina.
I thought it was 2-11.
It was 2 and
something like that. 2 and high, 2 and way too much. As we did get the Ashe ban coming through from Pendulum, not wanting to keep that same ADC on the side of ATS from last game, and gonna have to see what ATS want to do here. The Varus was picked up by Pendulum, so able to pick up a little bit of a different ADC there. As the Zac ban coming through, they didn't want to deal with that one again, as Aurelia was banned away by ATS as well.
Yeah, although keep in mind that Aurelia ban might be a little moot, since they already have the Mordekaiser locked in, and that's likely going into the top lane. Granted, of course, it could be going into the mid lane, but I don't know how well Mordekaiser does against Fizz, especially early on before he starts getting a bit of bulk from items, so might be a little bit of a yikers.
Yeah, Sejuani is going to be the next ban from ATS, not wanting to get that really nice tanky jungler there for Pendulum. Really excited to see where Pendulum want to go with this. They are hovering the Ornn, and they are going to go ahead and lock that one in.
Yeah. Interesting. So that could be Ornn jungle, because I know there's been a little bit of popularity for that, although its popularity has mostly faded. So it's most likely a top lane Ornn with a mid Mordekaiser, or it could be the other way around, honestly.
Yeah, we have been seeing Ornn in mid a lot.
Yeah, not to mention just being able to itemize that Abyssal Mask early helps you deal a lot with Fizz's burst, because 50 MR and a bunch of health will go a long way against a assassin like Fizz.
Oh yeah, for sure. And if we know anything from the first game, they're gonna have to find a way to shut down the Fizz, because that's just gonna have to happen. You can't have a Fizz going with that much gold and not expect it to take over the game.
Echo.
Ooh.
Okay, so
Top tier jungler, I like it. Honestly, the jungler that I play the most, so I like to see that. Don't know about how it goes in with the composition, but as well as you got to kind of weigh the strength of the pick compared to compositionally wise, and Echo is honestly very, very strong. So like to see it, but very interested to see it, as the Xayah was the last pick there from ATS. rounding out their composition with the Xayah Leona bot lane.
Very, PG definitely going with the strat of, well, it didn't work last game, so let's just try something completely new this game. Not a single pick being shared with their last game draft, so I'll give them credit for trying to mix it up a little and try something different, but we'll have to see if this is what was really affecting them, because how much of it was composition last game that kind of led to a 19-1 Fizz? I don't know.
Yeah, you definitely want to be careful of any decisions that are going to lead down that path or that fate again. But we'll have to see if maybe the communication comes together a little bit better this time around. Maybe being on red side will help them a little bit more. Maybe they're more used to the red side, as it did seem like some communication was off last game. But hoping to see it pick up in that area in this game here for Pendulum Gaming. Now, if you are ATS, you can't be rested on your laurels, though. You've still got a series to finish. You played very well in that first game, but there's still game number 2 and possibly game number 3. What do you expect coming out of this team this time around?
I expect it to be kind of decently bloody, because
You think they're just going to go guns blazing?
yeah, when you have Olaf, Leona, and Renekton Fizz, that's kind of definitely a pedal to the metal kind of composition, not the sit back and peel kind of composition. Not to mention on the side of Pendulum Gaming, I mean, when you have Mordekaiser, Ornn, and Echo, those guys all love fighting too, so I think it's going to be a decently bloody game in terms of skirmishes here.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see the junglers getting involved early again. Echo needing to get some gold in his pockets early on to really be useful, because those early clears are very, very tough for him. Now that they nerfed his damage to monsters by just a little bit, and that was a couple patches ago. So that's something we're going to have to keep our eye on. But Olaf loves to skirmish, loves to be in those early fights as soon as he gets to the level 3 mark, and really just able to kind of press his will on the objectives. And going to have to see if that's going to be a crucial step to their plan this time around as well.
Yeah, that is definitely something we'll have to keep an eye out on.
Now, I'm wondering if we're going to see any crazy runes. It does look like actually we are going to get the Ornn in the mid lane. I mean, they could obviously still switch. But honestly, I do really like the Mordekaiser into the Renekton in the top lane a little bit better. It is going to be really hard for Ornn to deal with Fizz, but I do feel like he's a little bit more defensive. So he is able to get away a little bit better. Something we're going to have to keep our eyes out on, though, because that's going to be a topsy-turvy lane if Sean's Beard can get ahead by any amount, apparently, because he got like 1 kill last game and just snowballed that into a 19-1 performance. So you can't give this guy any room to wiggle in the mid lane.
Yeah, but Ornn definitely doesn't let you wiggle all that much with his CC lock. And I mean, Howling Tornado, assuming he rushes the Abyssal Mask, he can get the early Negatron Cloak, and then even if he wants to, he can get the Merchants along with that. So that's plus 65 MR pretty darn early into the game. Not to mention with the Ornn passive just giving you an extra 10%. That's 71 magic resist there, bonus too.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of extra magic resist to top off everything. And as we saw last game, the objectives were a huge, crucial part of the fights, and especially where a lot of the blood was spilled. I expect to see a lot of the same this time around. I think the objective control from Olaf, as I was highlighting earlier, is very strong. Echo can be really, really good at stealing. So maybe we'll see a little bit more of that. There were some opportunities to steal last time around, but they just weren't able to take advantage of those. Fornoni, for sure, not able to get some of those smites off and things that he wanted, but this time being maybe a little bit more on the proactive. I want to say more mobile, but honestly, Nunu's pretty mobile. But the maybe more decisive jungler here on the Echo. Something we're going to have to see, though, as the performance comes to life in just a few moments. But really interested about this Xayah Leona bot lane. Not a combo you see very often.
Yeah, because you only ever really see Xayah with the Rakan, or as a way to bait out a free Rakan pick or ban. So we'll have to keep an eye out, because crit carries right now are suffering a little. especially since I did get some love tap nerfs a bit ago. And that is definitely hurting, especially with all the, well, how easy it is to just blow up the back lines in games right now.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, honestly. But with that being said, we're going to have to see how this game turns out. If it's going to be ATS taking the series 2-0 in a sweep, or if they're going to bring us to game number 3, Pendulum Gaming, as we are going to send it to a little small spectator delay. Do not go anywhere, as we will be right back. Gentlemen, I hope you didn't miss us too much, as we are here for game number 2 of the Rampage Open Week 5 matchup of Apes Together Strong and Pendulum Gaming. We are on to the Rift and see if we're going to have anything spicy today for this game number 2.
Yeah, I don't think too much is going to be shaping up, though, in terms of spiciness with the super boring 5-man fan coming out. But, you know, that's just my humble opinion.
Pardon the coughing. I've been very sick lately. So still recovering a little bit. I apologize. Try to keep that to a minimum. But yeah, so we do see a little bit of a late start coming through from Binks. Maybe it's all part of the plan. Didn't want to be out there to throw any suspicion his way, but it does look like he's going to start towards the top side, though.
Yeah, kind of similar to last game. Granted, last game was the solo start, but still starting in that same general area, and I wonder if he's going to do something similar to last game where he just cleared the entire top side.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's the go-to now. Maybe Binks has found the system.
Granted, though, for Noni, he is going to get the Zyra leash, which is really poggers, because see all 3 of those seats? Watch this.
Oh yeah, that's too
Oh,
good.
4 seeds. Oh my.
Oh,
Barely even have.
I think he missed one though. Yeah, he missed one of the seeds. Womp womp. He still got the 3 seed start, but didn't go for the pro 4 seed start. You know, a little min maxing here and there.
You love having a Zyra leash you because the plants DPS for you, but they also tank for you. Makes your life a lot easier.
Yeah, for sure. As they were able to pick up a little bit of vision on the bot side of the map as well early on, so they're able to kind of scout out if anything's going to be troubling for their bot side there, or for the jungle indeed. But now you see a little bit of oppression being put down here on the bot side by the side of Pendulum Gaming, who are able to kind of take priority in the lane. Now, it is a question for where Echo is going to want to start off. Did go for the blue side clear, the full clear. So not something you typically see.
Yeah, but still, though, bot lane, like you mentioned, is going to be a little interesting to watch because, I mean, if you get a little bit ahead on the Leona, you can just constantly all in and kill that Zyra for Knightsbridge, so just going to have to be a little careful on that point.
Man, that pink chroma is insane on the Renekton, though. As we see the Renekton trading down with the Mordekaiser in the top side. Just admiring a little bit of the chroma there. It's actually a really cool skin. I really like the series of the like Frost skins.
Oh, that's cool. Frost?
It's like the Dark Frost or whatever it is. So it's the chroma.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. I just completely forgot there's a Renekton skin that came out recently.
You're like, I don't know his skin.
Is this like Galaxy Slayer or like Dark Star? Mid lane.
This is exactly what I was talking about. Sean's Beard able to go away from the engages of Howling Tornado, but here on the bot side, Binks is looking for an early kill, but he's getting traded down on. That's a little bit too far, and that's first blood going over to the side of Pendulum Gaming as they are able to turn that gank around, and Binks just not in communication with his bot laners.
Severe case of miscommunication there, because Binks just kind of ran in on his own into that minion wave, into the waiting CC of Knightsbridge, so the root does land. It's going to be a little bit of poke down, nothing too exciting. So just kind of giving up that first blood for free right on over to that Varus for a warning shot, and not exactly who you want to be giving it to, especially with that double buffs. That means this Varus is just going to be able to spam that poke that much more with the piercing arrow, and that's going to make this lane a lot more hellish here for BNJ and Toasted Crayons.
Yeah, honestly wondering what Binks's communication line kind of looked like, because he just went straight in for the angle on the gank and was able to get the angle, but then nobody was following up, so they were just able to time the roots there.
The root lands.
Oh goodness, BNJ is going to be taken down. That is going to be a wonderful start here for Warning Shot as he's able to pick up another kill. Sean's Beard getting advantage of Howling Tornado again in this mid lane, though, is something you've got to be careful for. Ooh. That was so close to a kill.
Had it not been for that Searing Charge, that would be one dead Ornn. But with all that pressure in the bot lane and how much they've been winning it, that's going to be a free early Cloud Dragon here picked out for the side of Pendulum Gaming. And their team with reduced cooldowns and all their ultimates is pretty potent. Like Death Realm with less of a cooldown, pretty damn potent. Having the Chrono Break on even shorter of a cooldown, pretty potent. Same applies to the rest. Top lane though, Conquer proc on both sides.
Yeah, that was just a great play coming through from Spence, though. Saving the shield until the stun came down from Depression, not getting that broken because, as you know, W does destroy any shield it comes in contact with. So here comes Binks trying to get round 2. Is he going to be able to pick up this kill? It does look like it's going to be close. Death round's going to be popped, though. Does get very close to being the side of Binks going down, but he does pick up that kill finally, is going to pick up a little bit of the extra CS here in the lane as well, and try to get a little bit of a redemption arc going for himself after that first gank.
Yeah, Grand, that first gank was not to be too harsh, but I'm going to call that more of a gank in technicality than execution.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah. I mean, I understand where he's coming from, but kind of just, running into the enemy team. But either way, like you said, bit of a redemption going on. Even with the Death Realm and the Conquer prompt, wasn't enough for Spence there.
Yeah, the only thing I have to say is you really got to be careful because Varus getting some kills early is going to go a long way for his build. And his items being pretty expensive, but once he gets them, he's going to be a menace, especially against a lot of this team composition that ATS has put together.
Yeah, and he even went for the BF sword first, which is not something you commonly see on the Varus unless I've missed some new build update, because you usually historically see either lethality or on hit, but instead of opting for the BF sword, which might hint at a crit virus build, which by no means is bad, it's just tends to be outclassed by his other builds.
Let's just say it how it is, Go Frito. It's weird, all right? It's weird. No.
Okay, I used to rock crit Varus all the time. Season 6 or 7.
Well,
I just didn't want to rush Rage Blader. I have very strong choice words for people who go lethality Varus and think pressing Q all game is a form of entertainment.
Does that go in the same pool as people?
Oh, the Blues actually picked up by Bink.
Yeah, Bink's able to pick that up, but they're in a bad spot here. The Ornhorn comes down. It is going to get the knockup. That's going to be Ragnarok popped way too late, though, as Binks is going to be taken down. Now next is going to be Toasted Cannon. He flashes, but it's a little bit too late. The Fornoni does connect. Is it going to be a follow-up kill, though, as that is going to be a dead Leona. Warning shot going on a killing spree.
Yeah, that's a 3-0-1 Varus right now. Not to mention, there's 4 kills worth of participation amongst the Pendulum Gaming bot lane right now, which is absolutely massive. If you take a look at the gold leads right now, 1,200 between the 2 ADCs and about 700 between the supports right now. So that is going to be very noticeable.
Yeah, they're about a 1,000 gold lead in total right now as well.
Yeah, definitely going to start feeling it soon. Oh, Death Realm coming out.
Yeah, that's going to be Spence going in for the kill on Discretion. He's looking to take the kill himself, though. The shield was waited to be popped again as they decide to walk away from each other. Those fights are always so awkward because at one point, both members are just like, I'm done. And they just walk away. Like, it could be like in the middle of the fight. He had his ultimate popped, so they decide, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, it is a little awkward as Mordekaiser in my experience, because if you don't have that CDR, your abilities, especially this early on in the game, there is a little bit of a cooldown between them. I'm not saying it's like massive or anything, but it's like after you press that one big Q donk, you have to wait like 8 seconds before the next one comes up, and it can be a little awkward. Still though, winning out on the trade for Spence, granted it does cost him the ulti for it.
Yeah, and honestly, the biggest difference in this game, for me at least, has been Binks. You saw such good plays coming out from the Zac last game and really just dominating the jungle. And this time around, just making the miscalculations, not making the right plays at the right times. And so far, has cost the team a good amount of gold. As Sean Spears goes in, gets the tower hit, does pop the ignite. That's going to be the kill. Chum the Waters is going to pick that one. The nice emote flare coming through. He says, I am your master. You must bow down.
Yeah, and it was so close to Howling Tornado actually picking up that solo kill there. But like you said, the Playful Trickster and the Ignite was kind of sealing the deal there. But while all that happened, Banks was able to solo up that Rift Herald for himself. And if you take a look at the 2 junglers right now, huge CS differential, 24 in between them. And oh, the root lands.
Yeah, that's going to be a dead Xayah who does pop the Featherstorm just a little bit too late. That's going to be a pickup kill. Rampage for warning shot and a lot of bounty on his head. 4-0-1. Going to be able to go back and more than likely finish that item here pretty soon.
And that is now the Featherstorm, but also flash and heal down for BNJ. So very vulnerable on the side. And ooh, you see it reflected in his build right now too. Has the Caulfields, but also a Kirste's Shard, and that's not going to really build into anything he wants for a little bit. Like, technically, yeah, he'll probably want a Shiver Rapid Fire plus that Essence Reaver, but still, just not being able to complete that item is huge. Huge trade in the mid lane, though. Both laners going roughly even.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to get ganks at about the same time. You do have the TP coming down. They're trying to make a 4-man play here on the bot side. This time it's looking a lot better for the side of ATS as they wipe the bot lane. Now in the mid lane, though, Sean's Beard able to pick up the trade kill on himself, but Fornodi able to pick up that kill onto Sean's Beard. And just a crazy series of events as we went from a very, very in the lead Pendulum Gaming to now it is almost dead even, and a Rift Herald being summoned on the bot side that's going to take a lot of this bot side tower.
Yeah, but keep in mind though, that huge shutdown onto Warning Shot, that was a solo kill for Binks, and now that being shared with his desperately far behind bot lane, and he's gonna have to make that kill worth it on this Olaf, because that's a huge influx of gold to a pick that's gonna fall off once we pass the mid game here. But able to get a lot of money for his bang there with Rift Herald. That's going to help a lot in this bot lane.
Yeah, definitely. You see them getting reset, but they're going to be caught, actually, as they're stopping recalls on the bot side as well. As Echo was trying to get down here to make a gank, but just not able to in time. As you saw on the top side, Spence was taking a pretty heavy trade up there. But was able to get a little bit of that tower as well during all the chaos.
Yeah, and still though, bot lane, even with that major death setback there for the side of Pendulum Gaming, just their lead is so huge right now. A fully completed Infinity Edge to Caulfield and Kirche Shard.
Yeah, it's definitely feeling bad. They got help from their friends. As Leona does go in, but it's a little bit too late. Chum the Waters is going to miss as well. I love that ultimate so much on that skin. As now Sean's Beard is flexing his muscles. He's flexing his carry power as he blows up the carry for the side of Pendulum Gaming. And he says, "Not in my house."
Yeah, absolutely disrespectful coming out from Warning Shot there. Sure, you dodged the Chum the Waters, but that doesn't give you the rights to just walk up into that Fizz's range there. And that is another kill picked up for Sean's Beard on this Fizz, now 3-1, and might have a little bit of a callback to last game on this Fizz.
Oh no, Binks going over onto Fornodi. He wasn't expecting it. The Ornhorn's going to be here as well. He needs to flash out, actually, as Binks is going to try to get away. Does get the slow there. Now that Depression's going to be in some trouble, though, they decide to pull off of Binks trying to go for Depression. As now that is going to be connection, but the turnaround for Noni, not expecting it, has the chrono break up, but doesn't use it. And now it's going to be the rest of his team being taken down. That's going to be Binks turning it around. And we called for a redemption arc, and here we have it, Go Farino.
Depression just turning that round in a second there. Because, oh my god, Fornoni just tried to go for that huge play there, but very low health on the Echo and has no armor or health whatsoever, so super easy kill there, and huge loss for the side of Pendulum Gaming, because now you look at it, there's a 3-2-1 Olaf who's starting to get kind of fed and already has that massive CS lead.
Yeah, and ATS able to take the gold lead for the first time in this game, as well as they are now 1,000 above, but there's still that pressure to be dealt with on the bot side. You can't let Varus continue to get fed. They've done a very good job of focusing it. They had the roam, they had the teleport. They just need more of it to make sure that B&J can continue to feed up and get just as strong as this Varus. But on the other side, you need to press this advantage in the bot side. You need to be able to take this tower and transition to other parts of the map. And so far, it's just not able to happen. You've been stopped at every turn.
Yeah, I mean, look at the mini-map right now. We already have Sean's Beard coming down. He has a flash. He has to Chum the Waters. And they have to get the hell out of here right now because it's already almost too late.
Too late indeed. As Dragon's going to be coming up here pretty soon. They're definitely getting some vision and whatnot around it. You do have a reset coming through from Sean's Beard, though. Must have a good amount of gold to spend. As that's a bit of a weird time to back as the Dragon's coming right up, but they're going to try to bolt down this way and contest it as all 5 members are here for the side of Pendulum Gaming.
And no teleport on Depression's Renekton either, so...
He's running down now. He's not going to make it in time, though. He's trying to make it, though. As we're going to see if the contest comes through. They said they want to fight it, though. They're setting up in the Pixel Bush. As Binks is going to get the Ornhorn summoned on top of him. Now the engage onto Sean's Beard there. He's getting some damage in the Death Realm, though. He's able to take that fight. Now the one by one, the members of Pendulum Gaming are falling, and Sean's Beard is picking up the kills all over the place. As it didn't matter how long it took to run down, Depression made it, and they were able to take that Mountain Dragon and take that fight convincingly.
Yeah, because you have to remember, for Pendulum Gaming, all of their lead was basically built up in the bot side on this Varus, on the Syra, but we saw in that team fight that Warning Shot just kind of got flanked there and ran down by Binks and Depression, and there's nothing he could do. He was 4-1 on this Varus, now 4-3, and that hurts a lot, because that's going to also give over that Dragon, but also just... Oh, DNJ.
No, oh, no. ATS gonna get caught out here on the bot side. TP's being used. 2 TPs actually being used there, but they are able to pick up the double kill from that series of events. Now they were able to take down the tower at the last second though, so maybe worth. But now they're gonna lose their tower on the bot side as well.
Yeah, but they were able to pick up 2 towers in total, one of which was the first tower of the game there for the side of Pendulum Gaming. So all in all, 2 for 1 on the towers, not to mention a 4-4-2 overall team fight, and a dragon. I'd say that's pretty damn worth if you're on the advanced.
Sean's Beard's going to be in some serious trouble here. Ooh, the flash coming out, though. Binks is going to be in some trouble next, as Fornoni's going to find him out. Is he going to be able to do anything about it, though? The tower does go down in the mid lane, as now everybody's starting to roam towards that Rift Herald fight. As you see, setting up out in front is going to be the side of Pendulum Gaming. Just waiting for the engage to come through. Sean's Beard not paying attention. Almost gets caught by Spence. The burn is not going to be enough, as it was very, very close. I love it because Depression is just waiting in that bush, seeing what they want to make a decision on. And they decide to go down. He goes back up for the tower and is going to take that freely. As now it does look like he's getting some attention up here. Spence and Fornoni heading that way. So they want to make sure not to lose that very healthy top tower.
Yeah. But Depression, he has to be a little careful. He doesn't back up from Binks.
He doesn't care. He's going in. Fornoni almost gets taken down right off the bat, as Binks is there as well. The Chrono Break's going to come through, but you didn't want to take that. Why did you do it, Fornoni? As he's trying to run for his life, but it's not going to be enough. Depression takes him down. And again, the communication just wasn't there. And unfortunately, Fornoni goes down, as they are looking onto this top tower to take it down.
Yeah, we see the Call of the Portugal come out and get a field goal there.
The pins, as he wasn't able to get that one through. Howling Tornado is going to be taken down here by the Olaf. Actually, it's going to be very close. He can't get the angle on it. He does flash just to make sure he gets out with his life, as they are taking everything. They're taking the tower. They're taking the Rift Herald. They did lose the bot side tier 2. But they were able to clean up a little bit more on the top side of the map, as the gold lead has stayed pretty consistent here.
Yeah, and again, these trades coming out in the favor of Apes Together Strong. And I mean, what was once a pretty dominant lead coming out for Pendulum Gaming has mostly evaporated, because now the kill lead, now the objective lead, if we include that first tower, and the Rift Herald in the favor of Apes Together Strong. So it's gonna hurt a ton. And honestly, the gold differential in bot lane has mostly evaporated, because Warning Shot, he got an Executioner's, which is a little interesting to say the least, because sure, there's a lot of healing coming out from the Olaf and Renekton, but it's not game breaking.
Yeah,
so,
especially if you're that ahead, you want to be getting the power ticket items.
Yeah, you kind of need to finish the Runons, I'm going to assume, for this Varus, just to push that lead home. But as of right now, it's only a minor lead with that bit of crit and a little bit of extra AD.
Yeah, but by all means, Pendulum Gaming are not out of this game just yet. They just have to take these fights a little smarter than they have been, as they just haven't been applying pressure to the right areas. Now, Binks is going to get traded onto pretty heavily there. I have to see. They have a little bit of a floating 4-stack here. Trying to look for an in somewhere. Does get a little bit of damage onto Toasted Crayons there. as it does look like Fornoni is on the side, but doesn't want to go all the way in yet.
Yeah. Not going to be too much longer, though, before a fight breaks out, I believe.
Yep, here comes Oranhorn. Solar Flare is going to be on the other side as well. Toasted Crayons is caught out by just a bit as the Chum the Waters is going to land. That's a two-man knock up there, as now on the backside, Spence is taking down the competition, but now it is the Crocodile Man in the middle of everything who's going to take everything down, but it's Warning Shot who is able to turn it around on the Crocodile Man, making boots out of his skin, as now it's Sean Beard trying to run away with his life, as Spence during that entire fight was one by one taking down the enemy backline. And now Sean's Beard is able to get out by just a tiny bit. Warning Shot flexing his muscles a little bit, spending all of that gold he just got. He just finished Phantom Dancer and Runan's Hurricane. As actually, no, I don't know why it said that he bought. He actually had bought Phantom Dancer first, but then redid it into a Runan. So Sean's Beard looking to contest this dragon here, wanting to get a little bit more bang for his buck, as that's going to be almost a dead Mordekaiser. Oh, goodness. Sean's Beard being super low, but here comes Depression. Is he going to be able to get something? That's a scary Renekton there, got to say.
Yeah, with the home guard just zooming in like, but nothing coming out of it, just a flash. Yep. There's the
TP coming through. It's going to be a 4v5 here on this dragon fight.
Keep in mind, Sean's Beard, yeah, like you said, 4 versus 5 back in base, but it doesn't look like Pendulum Gaming knows it, although they might just have a little bit of a trap set up themselves.
Yeah, Binks has got to be careful there. Does get a little bit of damage put on him. They decide to start up this dragon, as now all 5 members are finally conjoining here for the side of ATS. You want to be careful in this fight. Either burn down the dragon or make a decision here, as the fight's about to unfold. If you like it or not, Oranhorn's going to be used. It's going to get the triple knock up there. They do secure the dragon. Solar Flare is going to go on the backside, though, as now it's going to be Sean's Beard in the backside as well, trying to take down the competition. Toasted Crayons able to almost take down Kiteside, but that's going to be Depression again in the backside, doing so much, but he's in the Shadow Realm now, able to go down, and now Sean's Beard is putting in work here, as Howling Tornado is the last member standing for Pendulum Gaming. And now they look to take some map pressure with this win they just got.
Yeah, a 2 for 5 there. Sure, they give up an Earth Dragon, but still, that huge of a win? That's going to net them a lot of objective control on the map. It looks like right up now on the menu is going to be that mid lane inner, because probably not going to be too long for this world with the Xayah and the Fizz wailing away on it. And that fight just a little scattered coming out from the side of Pendulum Gaming there, because they just kind of like engaged whenever they wanted to, but as every member going in like one at a time-ish.
Yeah, they just weren't in the position to take advantage of the Oranhorn, and then after that, it kind of all just tumbled down the hill, if so to speak. As we do see some vision being put out now. Now, that was Soul Point for Pendulum Gaming, so they're looking to secure that soul the next time the dragon comes up, but you gotta expect ATS is gonna want to contest that. They do not want that soul to go over to their enemy, but you also have to think about the wonderful Baron. Now, did Toasted Crown actually get to use the Rift Herald?
I don't know.
I don't think
That's a good question. I don't remember seeing it get placed down. Oh my god, that's a pretty good amount of damage. Chum the Water is going to be miss the Mordekaiser as...
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. They're surrounded here. Depression ults immediately goes straight into the fight. Is able to pick that up. Chrono Break is going to be used, but straight into the death of the Echo. And now you have the 5-man stack of ATS pushing this advantage of themselves and looking to transition that into a Baron more than likely. Actually... yeah, it does look like they're going to try to turn into this Baron with the damage that the Olaf and the wonderful Xayah can provide. It does look like Renekton's going to go out. Warning shot! Don't do it! Don't do it! He's going to be caught out. That's going to be a dead Varus, unfortunately. He said, you made boots out of me last time around. I'm just going to make you wish you never lived, as he's able to take him down very quickly. That's going to be an Oranhorn used. Howling Tornado trying to do the best that he can. but unable to get very much out of it, as now he's looking down the barrel of a death under his name here, as Depression is just slowly whittling him down. That's going to be the Baron taken down, and another kill going over to ATS.
Oh, the root does land the...
Why did you just back right there? He's just trying to get the greedy back. No big deal.
Yeah, but still, we've seen time and time again this series, Apes together strong. They're able to band together near the objectives, whereas Pendulum Gaming, they tend to kind of struggle with the objectives, either pouring in too much to get it, or realizing they're about to lose it, and then just throwing everything they have and giving up even more.
Yeah, for sure. And you see them pushing down this mid lane here, trying to get a little bit more presence, trying to open up the mid lane a little bit more. But they are only 3 members together, so you do have to be careful. You do have your teammates in the wings, but don't want to get a little bit overextended, as Toasted Crayon's going to get put into the Shadow Realm, or Death Realm here. Gonna have to see if he's going to come out of it on the other side. Is looking like he's going to survive there, and the Spence is going to go down to Sean's Beard, who is now legendary, and honestly making me wonder why they didn't ban this champion, as sitting at 11-1 feels pretty good, as Depression is just going to go into the middle of the fight again, just like he did last time, does the same exact thing, picking up all the kills, and now that is going to be another ace, and that is more than likely just the game go for Eno.
Yeah, looking a lot like last game. The only difference is there's actually some kills this time for the side of Pendulum Gaming, but first Baron of the game, clean 5 for 1 coming out for the side of Apes Together Strong. That's going to be the first Nexus Tower. Gotta wait a little bit for that next wave, but they still have 5 seconds left until it's spent, but even after that, there's still 10 seconds left till the rest of the members come, and this is just going to be series for Apes Together Strong, and now they're going to be 4-1.
You gotta get Sean's Beard 7 more kills, but it's too late. He needed to go 19-1 again, or whatever he went. I mean, that's just insanity. The biggest thing that would have changed this entire series would be banning Fizz, 100%. If you ban Fizz, you lose that huge power pick in the mid lane that Sean's Beard just dominated on time and time again. But good game coming through from Apes Together Strong, as they take this series in a clean sweep 2-0 over Pendulum Gaming. And I have to say, the graphs here after the game tell a very strong story.
That they do, because yeah, very strong story. 22,000 damage on this Fizz, and that's the most in the game by a pretty decent margin, whereas on the other side, the highest we see is only the 19,000 coming out.
Still better than last game, though, I have to say, where like almost nobody got above 10K. So that was a lot better performance coming out from Pendulum Gaming for sure. Definitely a lot to go back to the drawing board and work on for this week, though, as they definitely want to work a little bit on the communication, I feel like. But I do want to ask, who would you give the MVP of this series to? And I already have an idea who you're thinking.
Sean's Beard. I mean,
100%.
He just snowballed so hard.
Yeah, a 19-1 performance and a 12-1 performance. Somebody clip this man's, put it together a reel for him, because he just dominated in these games over and over again. Even when he was playing super aggressive, he was still pulling off the insane plays. And it didn't matter if he went up against another hyper carry mid or if he went up against a tank mid. He won both of those matchups.
Yeah, and I mean, you kind of got to wonder, where was the Fizz ban here? Because I feel like a little disrespectful not to ban his Fizz, and kind of putting on a statement of, hey, this is why you ban my Fizz, an essay by Sean's Beard.
Yeah, I mean, that honestly, you could turn the clip. Like, I'll even cast over it. I'll do that narrator voice. It's like, never take Fizz. Or never let him take Fizz, at least. But yeah, that was just crazy. And you got to think that every team that they come up against for the rest of the season is going to ban that Fizz more than likely. Now, do you have any other thoughts on this series?
We did kind of see the bot lane for Apes Together Strong does need to work a little bit, because they were getting beaten and roughed up in the chops quite a bit there, and it took a lot of cross-map roaming and gank pressure from their other players, so
yeah,
might be want to work on that. And on the side of Pendulum Gaming, I think they just kind of need to improve their objective play because we saw time and time again, like they'd be able to get early game objectives fine, but once it came to like 5 versus 5 fights around objectives, we just see them throw everything to try and get like a single dragon buff and then lose the ensuing fight afterward.
Yeah, I do have to say though, one sign that I do like, and it in certain cases you don't want this type of thing, but the roaming that you were talking about, I like to see that in certain cases because that means that you guys are all on the same page, you have the same ideas, and that you can execute it. Because those, if they wouldn't have gotten those roam, the TP that came down to get the 5-man gank pretty much, and then after that the roam coming through from Fizz. It just set up the lane to come back. And that's exactly what you're looking for in these teams. Yes, your bot lane is not doing well. They're getting trashed on in the early game, but you as a team are able to use your resources in other lanes to come help them and bring them up to your level. And that's something you're always looking for in these teams.
Yeah, but with that being said, though, I think we are going to have to call it a night tonight for our
It
Risen
is.
cast. So,
Well,
any
thank
final
you.
words you want to say, Lemon?
I just want to say thank you to everyone for coming out. I hope everyone's staying safe in these times of crisis. Definitely take care of your loved ones, take care of yourselves, but make sure more than anything to come back and check out Risen on our days of streaming because we have some great League of Legends coming out for you. So definitely stay tuned for the next couple days as well, and we will see you next time on Summoner's Rift.